Alright, y'all. Friday Night Smackdown review for November 11, 2022. It was pretty much a boring show outside of the last 5 minutes. So this match has been building up for like 1 or 2 weeks. I don't know why they didn't do it in the main event because it's to break the record for the longest reigning tag titles, and they just said it as the first match of the show. Kind of pretty fucking stupid. But yeah, it should have made the main event. And then the six-pack women's challenge match that sucked. There was a botch in that match. Looked like somebody might have got injured. And then at the end, Sheamus's fucking mic didn't work. So yeah, pretty much outside of the last 5-10 minutes, this show was pretty much boring. All right, let's get to it. So we got Usos versus New Day for the undisputed tag titles. Pretty much winner gets the record. Kofi hit a crossbody on Jey Uso. Kofi hit the trust fall on the Usos on the outside, back from the commercial break. Jey hit a suicide dive on Kofi while Jimmy was holding him on the outside. Jey swung Kofi into the barricade, back in the ring. Jimmy punched Kofi while the ref wasn't looking. And then Kofi hit a drop kick on Jimmy. Jey Uso hit a neck breaker for a 2 count. Woods hit a Russian leg sweep. Xavier Woods hit a leg drop on Kofi. Or on, I think it was on Jey. And then for a 2 count, Kofi hit the SOS for a near fall. Usos hit double super kicks on each member of the New Day. And then Usos hit a double splash for a 2 count. Xavier Woods hit a tornado DDT. And then Kofi hit a double stomp. Jey Uso broke the count. And Usos hit one and done for the win. So they are now the longest reigning tag team champions in history. About a couple more days, 3 more days will break the record. Solid match, I guess. And then they showed the Bloodline watching in the back. No Sami Zayn tonight. It was Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and Solo Sikoa. And then they come back from the break. Roman congratulates the Usos. And then he said he's got business to handle tonight. Next match, we got Nakamura versus Santos Escobar. They're doing a Smackdown World Cup because the Soccer World Cup's coming up. So they're pretty much just international stars in this 8-man tournament. First match, Nakamura and Santos Escobar. Nakamura hit a knee on the back of Santos' head on the apron. Back from the break, Nakamura hit a sliding German suplex with Santos Escobar. He was like, sitting on the middle rope. And then Santos does a roll up for a 2 count. Nakamura hit a baseball slide and the knee on other members of LDF. And then Santos hit a phantom driver from the second rope for the win. That looked pretty badass for his finishing move. In the back, there's a segment with Bray Wyatt and LA Knight. So he was pretty much trying to get in his head or something about anger, and then LA Knight just said, "Oh, why don't you go in the back somewhere, take your puppets and shut up your ass or something," and then he just headbutted him. So yeah, that was it for that. All right, next up we got the 6-pack challenge. Winner gets a shot at Ronda Rousey's women's title at Survivor Series. Number 1 contenders match. Sonya hit a running knee on Lacey Evans. Liv Morgan threw Sonya into the steps. Sonya hit a drop toe hold onto Liv, onto the base of the steps that were outside near the announce table. Raquel hit a suplex on Xia Li from the second rope. Liv Morgan hit a drop kick on Xia Li. Liv landed a DDT. And then Shotzi hit a neck breaker. And then Raquel Rodriguez hit a power bomb. And Raquel set up a table near the announce table. And then Liv Morgan, so Raquel's about to do a pile driver, a power bomb to Sonya Deville. Liv Morgan jumped from the barricade to break up the power bomb. And it was like an awkward landing. So it looked like they might have got injured, or I don't know what the fuck happened there. Pretty much a botch. And then Shotzi won the match with the slam. So it's gonna be Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series. Just don't really care about that. Another segment in the back. Shayna Baszler beat up Shotzi. So it looks like they're gonna have a match next week. And then next we got Braun Strowman versus Jinder Mahal. Another match in the SmackDown World Cup first round. Jinder hit a running knee. Braun hit a shoulder tackle, and he hit a powerbomb for the win. They didn't show the bracket, so we don't know who Braun Strowman's gonna face next week. And then next up, we got the last segment with the Bloodline. Paul Heyman says Roman and I were discussing on the private jet, flying to this hellhole, and then the crowd started booing. And then he says, Indianapolis, that is not very Usi of you. He says, you know what is Usi? All the great sports rivalries. And then he starts naming off a bunch of rivalries. The US versus UK in soccer, Cowboys versus Packers in the NFL. And then he says the Usos versus the New Day. And he says that's not a rivalry. The New Day cannot compare to the Usos. No team can. And then Roman grabs the mic. He said it's not easy being my cousins. Our whole lives, everyone has always acknowledged me for my greatness. And then the Brawling Brutes come out, Ridge Holland and Butch. And Ridge Holland says they're sick of the bloodline using the numbers game every week. And they say it's fight night, and we brought backup. And so Sheamus comes out, and then nobody knows what the fuck he's saying because his mic's not working. So they just go to the ring and they just start brawling against each other. Bloodline pretty much whoop their ass, and then Drew McIntyre comes out, and then everyone brawls, and that's how they end SmackDown. So it pretty much looks like it's gonna be War Games, the Bloodline versus the Brawling Brutes, and Drew McIntyre. If it's gonna be 5-on-5 and Roman's not defending the title, they'll have to find a fifth partner, maybe Braun Strowman or whoever else there is. I don't know. Yeah, so that was pretty much it for SmackDown.